Today we're going to show you how to display your customers or leads on a map chart and segment them by industry and revenue per employee. Plotting a map of your customers or leads helps you to understand their geographical distribution, which will help you gain valuable insight for targeted marketing and identify potential areas for expansion or growth. Being able to segment by industry and revenue per employee will help you gain insight on how to best target their specific needs and help you acquire new clients or expand your existing business. So first off, we have a data set here that we imported from HubSpot using the Coefficient add-on. We need to make a couple calculated columns here, and then we'll pull in the analysis. So first off, we need to do a simple revenue per employee. So we'll go ahead and do that now. And then we'll go ahead and let that autofill. Next, we want to segment this revenue per employee into different buckets to make it more efficient and able to segment it for our chart. So for the purpose of this, we're just going to go ahead and do this. And we'll start with if it's over $1 million, we'll do super high. If it's over 500,000, we'll do high. If it's over 250,000, we'll do medium or mid. And then if it's under 250,000, we'll do low. And we'll go ahead and drag this down. And there we can see our distribution. So we'll call this rev per employee buckets. We can go ahead and copy this format over if we like. And then let's go over here and start breaking down and analyzing our data. So first off, we need a list of our industries. So we can use a simple unique formula here and then grab it from our industry here. And then we'll see our industries there. And then we can use a couple quick formulas to pull in this data. So for example, for revenue, we can use a sum ifs. And again, we can just tab over our companies, grab our revenue, and then we just need to compare the industry to what we have here. So come again, and then we'll just click on our industry. And that will bring in our revenue. And then we can do the same thing for employees. So we can just copy this formula and move it over. Before we autofill, let's just make sure which column we need, and it is D. So we'll just update this to D. Drag this down, and now we have our totals by industry. Then we can simply do the same calculation here, revenue divided by employee, and come up with our average revenue per employee across these different industries. So this is a quick basic table here, but let's go ahead and add a chart as well with our geographical distribution. So we go back to here, let's go ahead and just select our data. And we can go ahead and insert a chart. So we have all this data here. We need to go down here and pick a geographical chart here. And then pick the region, which would be our state or region here. Let's go ahead and aggregate that. And let's go ahead and make this into a United States. Now you can see it's starting to wind down. So we can pick what we want to display as our highlighting here. So we actually want to be able to choose. So we probably need a new column to help us choose which one we want to display because we want to toggle between these. So let's go ahead and just move this chart over to here for now. So just copy and paste, move this chart. I'll make this a little bigger. Now we can delete this original here. So we want to be able to select the metric we want to display. So let's go ahead and make a drop down here. And let's just say revenue, employees, and then revenue per employee. So we can either leave it as a chip here, or we can turn it into an arrow. And now we have our drop down here. So now we need to convert this over to here and have a new column. We can call this, let's just call this chart column. And then we want to display whatever we select in this column. So what we can do here is a simple if, and let's go ahead and select our metric here. So if this equals to revenue, for example, then back over here, we can simply do an array formula, which will display a column. And so for revenue, let's just select C column. Now we can just repeat this for our other criteria. So for example, let's copy this. If this equals to employees, we can do D, and then if it's equal to revenue per employee, then we can do our new calculated column, G3 to G. So we forgot to add these other ifs in here. And there we go. Now we just need to select one here. So let's select revenue. And now we have our revenue showing up. We can go ahead and copy this format again over here. And then on our chart, let's double click on this and then set up our chart column. And if this isn't showing up, then you just need to adjust your data range here, make sure it includes that column. So now that we have this on here, we can go ahead and close this, and we can see as we select these, the chart updates accordingly. So we also want to be able to segment this by industry, because right now this is showing all the industries, and also by our buckets that we defined. And so this is actually pretty easy to do. We can actually just insert a slicer. So we go to data, add a slicer, and then here we want to actually grab our company's data. It's suggesting it there. Select OK, and then we just select the column. So here, for example, we can do industry. We can make this slicer a little smaller, throw it up here. And now we can select the industry. So by default, whatever is selected is what shows up. So we can clear and maybe just select these 3 computer categories. We scroll down, click OK. And now you can see it's restricted that data quite a bit. And go back here and select all, and then everything shows up again. So we can repeat this to do the same thing for our buckets. So let's add another slicer. We'll grab that company's data again, and then this time we'll pick that revenue per employee buckets. And we can go ahead and make this smaller again and add this right here. And now we can see our buckets. So we could select several. Maybe we want to see our high and super high. And you can see there our distribution. And then to reset, we can go back here and select all. All right, that is it for today. I hope that helps you to see how Coefficient can help you bring in data into your Google Sheets and how easily you can transform it into a quick report like this.